Hello, boys and girls, and welcome to the episode 63 of the Iron Meditation, the Art of Living and Lifting podcast. I'm your host, Coach Michael. So, if you want to disrupt a system, you need to take it out of balance. And how do we take the system out of balance? We cause all the parts of the system to move. So, here's an example. If you can stand on one foot, please. And I imagine you can do it. Now, the foot that is in the air, try to move it. And if you are a healthy individual, you're probably still standing. Maybe you've moved a little bit, but you're fine. Now move your arms. And again, the system is stable because you have an anchor point, which is your foot that is planted on the floor, and you probably managing to keep the center of your mass, of your body mass, above the center of the support, the surface underneath your foot. Now, if you stand on one foot or even on 2 feet and I come and push you, you will move, you will fall if I push you hard enough, because I've just disrupted the whole system. So your upper body and your lower extremity, your feet that were standing on the floor, moved and you went out of balance. We can see it in nature. Tree is a very, very planted and rooted, literally, form of life, and it is not easily disrupted. So thunderstorm, tornadoes, and tree usually stand. The upper branches may break, the trunk may twist, but the tree is standing. So in order to disrupt, to move, to take the tree out of the soil, we need a huge force coming in 90 degrees closer to the roots to really tear the tree away from the soil, from the ground. The same happens in our life, and we often call it resilience. And this is what we can call a trauma or stress. When our system is disrupted both ways. Now, examples I can give you so you can relate, and hopefully not personal, is a death of somebody close in the family. It completely disrupts your system. Okay, you are literally feeling like the ground is moved beneath your feet. September 11. 9/11, unfortunately, was one of the major national distractions. So was COVID, that took people absolutely unsurprised and ruined businesses, families, and often life. So the question is, if we understand how the systems are disrupted, meaning that all of the parts of the system must move in order for it to fall, we need to ask the question, how can we make the system more stable? And here we are coming from the world of physics and mechanics into the world of life. In life, we have no certainty. Okay, objectively, none of us can be sure that he will or she awake tomorrow. All right, it's not promised to us. Nobody knows if next COVID or war or whatever may hit us. We don't even know if we are not going to have diagnosis of cancer in the following week. Our boss, our family, we can get a eviction note. We can have a Hollywood-style letter from our partner running away with our accountant, and etc., etc. So we have zero control over the circumstances. We can, however, choose to respond to circumstances, but in order to do it in a healthy manner, we must have a system that is in equilibrium, that is strong, that may be bent but never broken. And this is where training program comes into play. Now, this episode is in retrospective because when I scroll back to my life and all the darkest periods I've went through, somehow, okay, because I wasn't thinking about that when I went through it. But now when I scroll through it, I understand that I had a program. I always found myself training by some protocol to some event, be it my subconscious choices. This is what happened, and this is the roots. This is the one thing of a system that stays stable and absolutely cannot be moved, shifted, or disturbed by anything but us. So if we are going through some dark periods in our life, and I had a client, actually, true story, he went through divorce. Well, it's life, happens, okay? And when he went through it, it wasn't pleasant. It never is. So the program obviously was suited to meet his circumstances. But in one of our conversations, we came to terms that the only thing stable in his life was the programming. He told me, I knew that I will wake up Sunday morning and there will be a message from you saying you're next week ready. He said, this is what kept me sane and kept me standing. The only certain thing that was there was like you and the programming and my commitment for the process are for you out of respect, because I hired you, I asked for your help. You have nothing to do with my life circumstances, with my divorce. So punishing you by cutting you off is punishing me to absolutely losing the only sane and stable thing that I have, because I cannot count on anything now, but I can count on you that you will deliver as long as you are alive. All right? And this conversation got me thinking for years. And after some tests and conscious tests now with my students that went through hard times, I've seen this repeating over and over again. The harder the time, the more they clung to the process, to the program that again was suited for them to handle. But it provided those deep roots that kept the system stabilized and strong. So back to you standing on one foot. No matter how I may push you, move you, okay, you can wiggle on one foot. But as long as I don't kick your lower foot that is standing, you'll probably maintain balance and control. So in times of adversity, this foot that is standing on the ground is the program, is the structure, is the very specific goal that you are attaining, because this is going to be the only sane thing and the only certain thing within absolutely disrupted and sometimes perverted and sick reality. Think about it. And as always, if you have questions or topics you want me to discuss and to talk about, please let me know. I will be more than glad to do so.